January 21st, 2021. We'll start with Psalm chapter 21. The king shall joy in thy strength, O Lord, and in thy salvation. How greatly shall he rejoice! Thou hast given him his heart's desire, and hast not withholden the request of his lips. Selah. For thou preventest him with the blessings of goodness. Thou settest a crown of pure gold on his head. And he asketh life of thee, and thou givest it him, even length of days for ever and ever. His glory is great in thy salvation. Honor and majesty hast thou laid upon him. For thou hast made him most blessed for ever. Thou hast made him exceedingly glad with thy countenance. For the king trusteth in the Lord, and through the mercy of the Most High he shall not be moved. Thine hand shall find out all thine enemies. Thy right hand shall find out those that hate them. They shall make them as a fiery oven in the time of thine anger, and the Lord shall swallow them up in their wrath, and the fire shall devour them. Their fruit shalt thou destroy from the earth, and their seed from among the children of men. For they intended evil against thee, they imagined a mischievous device, which they are not able to perform. Therefore shalt thou make them turn their back, when thou shalt make them thine arrows upon thy strings against the face of them. Be thou exalted, Lord, in thine own strength, so we will sing and praise thy power. Psalms 21. Now let's look at chapter 21 in the Proverbs. The king's heart is in the hand of the Lord as the rivers of water. He turneth it whithersoever he will. Every way of a man is right in his own eyes, but the Lord pondereth his hearts. To do justice and judgment is more acceptable to the Lord than sacrifice, and a high look and a proud heart, and the plowing the wicked is sin. The thoughts of diligent tend only to plenteousness, but of every one that is hasty only to want. The gettings of treasures by a lying tongue is a vanity tossed to and fro from them that seek death. The robbery of the wicked shall destroy them, because they refuse to do judgment. The way of a man is forward and strange, but as for the pure, his work is right. It is better to dwell in a corner of a housetop than with a brawling woman in a wide house. The soul of the wicked desireth evil. His neighbor findeth no favor in his eyes. When the scorner is punished, the simple is made wise, and when the wise is instructed, he receiveth knowledge. The righteous man wisely considereth the house of the wicked, but God overthroweth the wicked for their wickedness. Whoso stoppeth his ears at the cry of the poor, he also shall cry himself, but shall not be heard. A gift in secret pacifieth anger, and a reward in the bosom strong wrath. It is joy to the just to do judgment, but destruction shall be to the workers of iniquity. The man that wandereth out of the way of understanding shall remain in the congregation of the dead. He that loveth pleasure shall be a poor man. He that loveth wine and oil shall not be rich. The wicked shall be a ransom for righteous, and the transgressor for the upright. It is better to dwell in the wilderness than with the contentious and angry woman. There is a treasure to be desired, and oil in the dwelling of the wise, but a foolish man spendeth it up. He that followeth after righteousness and mercy findeth life, righteousness and honor. A wise man scaleth the city of the mighty, and casteth down the strength of the confidence thereof. Whoso keepeth his mouth and his tongue keepeth his soul from troubles. Proud and haughty scorner is his name, who dealeth in proud wrath. The desire of the slothful killeth him, for his hands refuse to labor. He coveteth greedily all the day long, but the righteous giveth and spareth not. The sacrifice of the wicked is abomination. How much more when he bringeth it with a wicked mind? A false witness shall perish, but a man that heareth speaketh constantly. A wicked man hardeneth his face, but as for the upright, he directeth his ways. There is no wisdom, nor understanding, nor counsel against the Lord. The Lord is prepared against the day of battle, but safety is of the Lord. Proverbs 21. Now we'll look at Revelations 21. And I saw a new heaven and a new earth, for the first heaven and the first earth were passed away, and there was no more sea. And I, John, saw the holy city, New Jerusalem, coming down from God, out of heaven, prepared as a bride adorned for her husband. And I heard a great voice out of the heaven, saying, Behold, the tabernacle of God is with men, and he will dwell with them, and he shall be his people. And God himself shall be with them, and be their God. And God shall wipe away all tears from their eyes, and there shall be no more death, neither sorrow, nor crying, neither shall there be any more pain, for the former things are passed away. And he that sat upon the throne said, Behold, I make all things new. And he said unto me, Write, for these words are true and faithful. And said unto me, It is done. I am the Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end. I will give unto him that is athirst of the fountain of the water of life freely. He that overcometh shall inherit all things, and I will be his God, and he shall be my son. But the fearful and unbelieving, and abominable, and the murderers, and the whoremongers, and the sorcerers, and the adulterers, and the liars shall have their part in the lake, which burneth with fire and brimstone, which is the second death. And there came unto me one of the 7 angels, which had the 7 vials full of the 7 last plagues, and talked with me, saying, Come hither. I talked. I will show thee the bride, the Lamb's wife. And he carried me away in the Spirit to a great and high mountain, and showed me the great city, that holy Jerusalem, descending out of heaven from God, having the glory of God, and her light was like unto a stone, most precious, even like jasper stone, clear as crystal. And a wall great and high, and had 12 gates, and at the gates 12 angels, and the names written upon them were the names of the 12 tribes of the children of Israel. On the east 3 gates, of the north 3 gates, of the south 3 gates, and of the west 3 gates. And the wall of the city had 12 foundations, and in them the names of the 12 apostles of the Lamb. And he that talked with me had a golden reed to measure the city, and the gates thereof, and the wall thereof. And the city lieth 40 in length, is as large as the breadth, and is measured the city with the reed 12,000 furlongs. The length and the breadth and the height of it are equal. And he measured the wall thereof in 144 cubits, according to the measure of a man, that is, of the angel. And the building of the wall of it was of jasper, and the city was pure gold, like unto clear glass, and the foundations of the wall of the city were garnished with all manner of the precious stones. The first foundation was jasper, the second sapphire, the third chalcedonian, the fourth emerald, the fifth sardonyx, the sixth sardius, the seventh crystallite, the eighth beryl, the ninth topaz, the 10th chrysoprasus, and 11th janus, and the 12th an amethyst. And the 12 gates were 12 pearls. Every several gate was of 1 pearl, and the street of the city was pure gold, as it were transparent glass. And I saw no temple therein, for the Lord God Almighty and the Lamb of the temple of it. And the city had no need of the sun, neither of the moon to shine in it, for the glory of God did lighten it. And the Lamb is the light thereof. And the nations of them which are saved shall walk in the light of it, and the kings of the earth do bring their glory and honor unto it. And the gates of it shall not be shut at all by the day, for there were no night there. And they shall bring the glory and the honor of the nations into it, and there shall be in no wise enter into it anything that defileth, neither whatsoever worketh abomination or maketh a lie, but they which are written in the Lamb's book of life. Revelations 21. Okay, now on the financial breakthrough checklist, may have said this one before, but basically it's do I give to God from pure motives? We should be reading First Chronicles 29, 2-9, Matthew 6, 1-4, Matthew 26, 6-13, Mark 11, 15-17. So take upon those readings for yourself. And the action here he speaks about is, do you give with pure motives from your heart of love as an act of worship, or your offerings will be accepted by God and he will reward you? You can give $1 million, but if it's not given from a heart of love, it is not acceptable to God, and it profits you nothing. Be open and honest before God. What are your motives for giving? Do you give to receive the recognition and approval of man, or is the major reason you give is to God is because you want to receive more in return to fulfill your own carnal, selfish lust? Do you give because you feel pressured to give, or from a sense of obligation or fear? If you have not given to God with pure motives, ask God to forgive you and cleanse you of all impure motives and desires. Each time you give your tithes and offerings, be sure that you give to God because of your love for him, with a thankful heart, in worship and praise for who he is and all that he has done for you. Thanks for tuning in for today's devotion. We'll talk to you another time.